So you think you know Lightroom, right? Well, everybody knows it because it's the Bible of photography. Every photographer must know Lightroom. But what if you're learning and I can help you speed up your process? Sounds good to you? I'll show you 5 tips on how to improve your editing skills, and I'll show you 5 tricks that are hidden inside Lightroom that will definitely help you speed up your process. So if that interests you, stay on till the end of the video. I'll see you on the other side. The first one is known as clipping. Well, what exactly is clipping? So what happens is when you're editing a photo and you clipped an image. Clipping an image is like where there is no digital information, like it may be way too overexposed or way too underexposed, and there is no detail or nothing in it. So what you can do is press J on Lightroom on the develop module on your photo. So what happens is press J on your keyboard, and then you would see these areas which is marked as red, which means those areas are way overexposed and all the digital information there is missing. You can't retrieve that. So what you can do is you can bring down the exposure level down so as to decrease that clipping, and that way you will have all the details intact. That's clipping. That's easy, right? Let's jump to the second one, before and after. So the second one is before and after. It's very important. It's gonna help you a lot in terms of determining where you should stop editing, because there is a thing called over editing and you have to be very careful about that. So let's take example of this image where you can see this is an edited photo. So I'm sure you guys know that in order to check how the image was before you started editing, you go to press the backslash on your keyboard. So this is the image which is before, and once you press the backslash, it's the edited version. But it's still not clear, right? So you have to remember like what it was before, and then according to that your mind will work. But there is a shortcut to it. So for example, if you see this Y option right down there and then you press it, it's a much better view of what your image was before and what it is after you edit. So before and after, you can cycle it actually. Let's take another example. So this is the before, this is the after, and you can cycle the options. For example, if you see this, if you continue pressing on this, see this, this half will be before, that will be after. This is before and after. So this works like this way. Nice reference points because they'll exactly show you where you have started and how far you have come. So this is nice. I mean, I'm sure you didn't know this, right? Yeah. Jumping on to number 3. Next we are talking about lights out. So just to make sure what it is, so imagine you are looking at your photos without all the distractions on the left or your right. So just press L on your keyboard and it's going to dim the background, where you can see from a clearer perspective on how far you have come, how much you have edited, and whether we need to do anything else, or you can just sit back and admire. And if you press L once again, just like that, it's gonna black out everything and you're gonna just see that photo. Sometimes it really helps, just sit back and admire what you have done, or just sit back and check what can you do to make it better. Lights out. Number 4 is something that is for people who are very new to the software, very new to Lightroom, and you don't have much extensive knowledge about the process and how it is done. So this will actually enable you to start as provide a base coating to that layer or the image that you have clicked. So what you're going to do is auto-tone your image, which is like will give you an idea on where to start. Let's say you're a newbie on Lightroom and then you are with your image sitting in the Lightroom thinking about where the hell do I start, and then you can press an auto tune and it will give you a foundation or a base coat from you can start editing your photos, or you can just leave it like that. That's your wish. So what you're going to do is you're going to come to this exposure tab and then you can select this auto air. See, it actually brightens the image, does something about the dehaze, the clarity, the highlights and the shadows too. So it is good. Like if you just leave the photo list like this, it's still acceptable. I would not do that, but for people who are starting on this Lightroom, this is very good. I mean, it's not bad. Auto-tone it is. Tell me honestly, did you know about auto-tone before? No? Right. Thank you. And the last tip would be resetting your edits. So that's very obvious. The very right bottom of this panel, you find the reset button. Once you press it, it's going to reset your photo to what it originally was. But that will reset the entire thing. But let's say you want to reset some particular details. Let's say you want to reset the orange color. So here I go into the orange color. My image looks horrible. It's a very orange image. So what I would do is like I would double click on the orange and it will just dial it back to 0. whatever it is, like anything, any setting that you can see right here. Let's say, for example, this blue to 0, maybe the shadow back to 0, well, anything. So resetting your image from the right bottom corner will actually reset the entire edit that we have done so far, and double clicking on the particular attributes like highlight, shadows, whites, blacks, texture, clarity, and all the colors, anything at all in Lightroom, if you double click it and it will just reset that particular setting, and you don't need to reset the entire image and start all over again. Helpful, right? Alright guys, I hope these tips have helped you and will help you in future if you are looking to get serious in Lightroom. Thank you for watching it, and please consider subscribing to my channel, and if you are watching this video, do drop a like. It'll mean a lot. Thank you so much. I'll see you again. Till then, happy shooting and take care.